is there a chance that them three epic fights with Deontay Wilder have taken something away from Tyson Fury and made him maybe not the same fighter that he once was?
We thought that might have been the case when he at Wembley Stadium fought Dillian White. And we didn't really get an opportunity to see that. Dylan wasn't able to sustain
Dillian's performance
We
wasn't
didn't see it. Yeah, we couldn't really tell. He started off very slowly. He wasn't really. He didn't go into the Dillian White fight like he did do against Wilder the second two times, which was just come straight at him. So we don't know. It's unknown. It really is unknown because the shots that he took from Wilder, you would assume would have some long-term ramifications because they shook him to his boots. I can imagine having horrendous. I couldn't take those shots, for instance. I wouldn't get back to my feet after those shots. They were just disgusting shots. And it's unknown. Maybe you could say that. You know, there definitely wasn't anything in Joshua's last two defeats to Usyk that would say he'll never be the same again. He just got outmaneuvered.
Carl, I want to ask you about this because we've seen three different fights, as we mentioned, between Wilder and Fury. We asked AJ, as the public, as the boxing fans, can we make that Usyk fight, that second Usyk fight, a tear-up? I think that's what you need to do. He decided to box with him. But what is the plan? What is the game plan to beat Tyson Fury? Is there one? Is it just make it physical?
He can't outbox him. He couldn't outbox Usyk, and Fury is similar to Usyk in the fact that he can box like that and he can get up on his toes and move around, but he's also got about 6 inches of height on him and maybe 50 pounds or more weight. So he can't. I don't think he can stand off Tyson Fury. It would just be silly. No chance of him winning that way. But I think if he has the chance to win the fight, it has to be early, and he has to kind of start fast, and really put the pressure on. And it's almost like have a go really early on. He may blow out and get stopped himself, but it's better than losing in a kind of undramatic points decision. You need to try, and I think the only chance he has really is to be super aggressive. But then again, that can play into Fury's hands because he can do a bit of everything.
You know, the times that Tyson Fury's been dropped is a lot of the time it's big overhand looping right hands. And how many big overhand looping right hands did Anthony Joshua throw against Usyk? The answer is very few. He tries to do everything very neat and tidy. So you've got to just loosen up and just wing him in. And he doesn't wing his punches in. Everything watching him punch in a fight is very similar to watching somebody on the pads. It's like if you looked at a boxing book, how to box, hands here, neat jab here. It's all very neat and tidy. And he's going to have to get unorthodox himself. He's going to have to throw away the rule book and just throw some great. But you can prepare to throw combinations, crossing his feet, turning southpaw, winging shots in. It can be done. You know, look what we did with Chisora when he fought Usyk. I thought he won that fight. He claimed that he pushed him, he hurt him significantly more than Anthony Joshua did. But a lot of people would suggest Anthony Joshua is superior to Chisora. But Chisora had so much more success against Usyk than Anthony did in, God knows how many, 24 rounds he had of him. So sometimes it's just, and what Chisora did wasn't textbook. It wasn't pretty. It was just effective. And sometimes that's what you need to do against someone as unorthodox as Tyson Fury. Don't play the boxing game against someone who doesn't play the boxing game. You've got to just rip up the script and find a way to get your knuckles to the head quickly and hard as possible.
If you suffered a defeat like he did to Ruiz, a shock defeat, a defeat that nobody saw coming, a defeat where he didn't get stopped dramatically in one punch knockout. It was more like he was kind of beaten from pillar to post, really. Never kind of regained his footing after that third round. Do you think those scars still exist? Because his entire style of fighting for that Ruiz rematch, that is the only AJ we've seen. We used to see the wrecking ball AJ. We used to see the AJ that would stick it on people. And after that fight, we've only seen this version. And do you think those scars are still there? And how do you heal a scar like that?
Yeah, I think you heal the scar by having some live sparring sessions. You know, if you put Tyson Fury, for instance, on the ropes with your hands down, or if you put myself on the ropes with my hands down and let someone throw lots of punches, I've been boxing since I was a kid. Same thing with you, Carl. You could drop your hands, and you know someone's throwing a right hand, and you can ride the punch. You can slip and you know how to. If you can't get away from it, you know how to take the sting out of it. The style that Anthony Joshua has doesn't allow for that, and it's almost as though he hasn't put himself in a position where he's up against the ropes, completely knackered, finding a way how to get through these problems. I used to give myself. And my coach used to give me restricted amounts of punches per round to spar with. So I'd be sparring with whoever it might be, world-class heavyweight, and I was only allowed to throw 5 right hands or 5 punches. They wouldn't know that, but I would then have to be very, very conservative. And when the combinations would come at me, I'd have to be able to ride it. And I then got comfortable under fire getting punched. I don't believe he practices getting hit. Talking to people who do spar with him, it's just that he's trying to win that round. It doesn't matter about winning the rounds in sparring. You've got to practice for the fight. You know, what unfortunately AJ has, he has the physical tools to be any style he wants, but he's chosen a style that is very orthodox.